We ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, we ride around this ghost. If we show up, then we still have it. Yeah, we slide around this coast. Yeah, we glowing up, but we still trapped. Sitting high up on the throne. Put my foes out, got the world clapping. Yeah, we vibing up in this show. So your main girl in the private section. Yeah, glowing up, but we still trapped. That's how a nigga survives. Flowing out, got the crowd packed. Yeah, that's how a nigga provides. Y'all insta this, y'all snap that, y'all diss this, and they snap back. Another mass shooting in the headlines. I'm like, damn, where that attack at? Cause y'all think this about race. They flaunt that shit in your face. It's like every day it's the same agenda. It's really not that hard to treat.
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing, 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 test, testing, testing, testicles, testicles. Welcome everyone to episode 1745 of the Daily Mother Swole, the most muscular swolecast, beardcast, broadcast, gamecast, mancast, pimpcast, sleazecast, and slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex. We all flex our biceps. What's going on, beaches, booshes, busters, hustlers, and yo hoes? It's your boy, Papa Swolio, back with another episode. Thank you so much for being here. I'm stoked. Everyone getting their swole text coming on in. Those went out for sure. Someone said you didn't get your swole text. You need better service because the swole text went out. We're making gains. Where's my wine mixer? The wine mixer.
Fucking Catalina wine mixer.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. So the swole text went out, of course, for members only. You want to learn more, join over at swolenormusx.com. But we got an Ask Papa Swolio live today. So I'm very excited. Oh, let me get this camera going. Hold on a second. Let me bring that in. Very nice. I think we got it now. There we go. There's Papa. How you doing? All right. Welcome to the Mancast. If you're new, make sure you hit the subscribe button. Apple Podcasts, Spotify. Ask Papa Swolio live today. Today we got questions. If you got questions, Papa Swolio's got some answers. And we'll be going into a couple of those we got from Instagram, maybe some from TikTok, we'll see. And of course, if you got stuff you have to ask or you want to ask live, now is a chance to do so because, well, we're going to go over tons of questions. Let me bring that out a little bit. There we go. Need to get all the beard in there. All right, so let's get into a couple things before we bust this nut open. We do have a sexy beach we have to let out of the nut, but reminder, we got some awesome shows for you. We got a new audio experience if you're not yet subscribed to the Swolenormous audio experience, and we will have some more Red, White, and Swole and Swolenormous Procast. Go and check out those shows wherever you're listening to this. You can go and enjoy a few other audio shows, and of course, a lot of you are loving the brand new channel at Papa Swolio over on YouTube. We got some new content over there, and I'm going to be posting all sorts of stuff over on the Papa Swolio channel, maybe doing some more Red, White, and Swole there, might be doing some other things, but just dropping some knowledge cock over there as well. So another place for you to absorb and another place for you to connect and drop questions and drop some comments and things like that. So lots of stuff coming on all the platforms. Make sure you plug in, and you can also check the descriptions on most of the videos. You'll see all the links for those other channels. But if you go on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you type in Swolenormous, you'll see all the shows and such. And of course, if you're on YouTube, you could check the other channels. You click that tab for channels and you'll see everything else that we's got to offer. And a reminder before we get into it, fam, guess what tomorrow is? We got some new releases. Tomorrow is our accountability meeting, Monday, February the 1st. Why does it say fucking the February 1st? It's not Monday, February the fucking 1st. It's February the 14th. Tomorrow, February the 15th. Tomorrow's the 15th. Tomorrow is February the 15th. So tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, we have our accountability meeting. Accountability meeting tomorrow at 12 noon. So make sure you are ready for that. We're going to have some new releases. We'll go over some awesome posts. So if you never want to miss a single episode, you got to join the Swole fam. We'll be streaming live inside Swole TV and the private Facebook group. So you could join at your convenience and go over those new releases, and we can talk some shop because we got some new announcements as always and new things to drop too fucking late. All right, so tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. Today we got some questions. Let's get into this beach today. Here we go, busting the nut wide open. Put some respect on it, you boosh. Oh, isn't that nice? Isn't that nice? A little go to the fucking gym with a heart around it. Isn't that nice? And Leo, holy shit, we need to get you some help, bro. I guess it's Valentine's Day. I guess you're not happy. I guess you have, I guess you're spending this one alone, Leo, I suppose. Anyway, let's get Leo some help. Hashtag help Leo. But hashtag, look at that. Look at that sexy. Look at that sexy. Go to the fucking gym. All right, fam. So you got your card. You know what you need to drop. So you can put that in the comments down below. Isn't it? It's a nice card. It's a nice card. It's looking good. It's looking good. I like it. I like it. I think it looks great. I think it looks great. How we coming through? We coming through fire? How's the audio? We looking good? We sounding good? How's everything going for everyone? Yeah, we're on point. We're on track. We're looking good. I think we're looking good. I think we're looking good. Hashtag go to the fucking gym. If you want a chance to win today's Swole card, we'll be giving that away at the end of today's episode. Let's get into the first question. So if you got questions, drop in the comments below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio. We'll be going over a bunch of questions and pretty much whatever you want to talk about. Again, tomorrow is our accountability meeting, 12 noon Eastern time. So make sure you are ready for that. And of course, we'll take some more private questions if you missed today's episode for members. So we can go over that then. Just make sure that you are scheduling that out tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, Monday, February the 15th. So let's see what we got here. All right, the first question, let's see what we got. Let's get it started. So we'll be here for a hot minute, depending on how many questions we get and what you all want to talk about. So got a few here already. Again, if you have questions and you want to drop them down below, you can use the hashtag AskPapaSwolio. This is from Triple K or KK Kawatawi. Solutions for bloating. I eat a lot of vegetables, but it makes my stomach bloated. I feel like we've had this question before. I feel like I've seen this exact question and I raged on it the first time. Solutions for bloating. I eat a lot of vegetables, but it makes my stomach bloated. Stop eating so many fucking vegetables. Jesus Christ. When I punch myself in the face, my face hurts. Stop punching yourself in the face. Obviously, you're not eating foods that your body responds well to. You're eating something that your body is saying, fuck you, this doesn't work well for me, but you're eating it anyway. That's a sign that you need to stop eating so many vegetables and or do an elimination diet and start cutting out certain ones and see which ones fucking work well for you and which don't. Not all vegetables should be consumed. Okay? Some people don't eat vegetables at all. Some people eat specific ones. Most people should eat specific ones because many vegetables aren't going to digest well, and a lot of them can cause these types of issues, whether it's just bloating or other things. Yeah, it's very, very common. So cut them out and maybe implement them one at a time. But check out my content on the elimination diet. That's common sense. You're eating vegetables, you know they're bloating you, then stop fucking eating them. What do you want? Like, what else are you going to take? What else are you going to eat? What else do you expect? I eat a lot of vegetables, but it makes my stomach bloated. That's a sign that something's not going well for you. That's a sign that something's going awry. That's a sign that something is not working out well by eating those foods. And this is an important point because the elimination diet, it's not magic. It's literally treating your body and treating yourself as a science experiment. It's being curious. It's being curious and insightful as to what works best for your body. It takes work, it takes effort, it takes consistency, it takes patience. But if you want optimal results and you want to take care of your health, you should be pursuing that. That's a non-issue. That patience is a non-issue. You need to go through that process and make sure that you're eating the right foods for your body. Why would you want to eat shit that your body is getting fucked up from? Why would you want to torture your body? Why would you want to negatively affect your body? It's very important to make good choices. How do you make those good choices? Well, you have to figure it out, right? You have to actually go through the process of figuring out which foods work best for your body. So you have to give yourself that opportunity. An elimination diet will do that. You got to eliminate foods for 6 to 8 weeks, but it's very simple. It's a very short time period, especially in the context of life, and you're going to find invaluable information that you're not going to get anywhere else. You can Google it all you want, but at the same time, you're not going to know how these foods actually affect your body and affect your livelihood and affect your life and your performance unless you actually remove them and test them yourself. Solutions for bloating. Solutions for, I don't know, banging my head against a wall. Don't bang your head against a wall. Let's see. This one's from Hatch Damien. When does cardio start to affect muscle growth? That's a vague question. Just don't do too much of it. I would make sure you're focusing on your nutrition and your weight training. You can't really answer that question, but a lot of people do way too much cardio. If you do very light cardiovascular activity as a warm-up or general activity, 20, 30 minutes, that's fine. You can even do that almost every day just because it's activity, as long as you're getting in the caloric surplus and you're consuming energy that's going to make up for that type of activity. But it's definitely not something that's ideal for bulking. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. General health, general maintenance, general body composition. Some people are going to find that they don't need to do much cardio at all. I think everyone should be doing some cardio. I think people should be doing some cardio, whether they're going for a walk, doing stairs, doing a treadmill, I guess, for a little bit. But many people don't have the proper alignment. A lot of people go running when they shouldn't go running. They're obese and they're putting a lot of stress on their joints. There could be a lot of contraindications for doing too much cardio. It depends on what type of cardio. It depends on what your goals are. So you can't really say when does it start to affect muscle growth. You can't really say when it will. It depends on the context of what other things that you're also doing. So it's not that black and white. Oh, if you do cardio 5 days a week, it's too much. If you do it 3 days a week, it's perfect. It depends on how long, depends on the intensity, depends on everything else. But walking, for example, like Cat Mom says on the private Discord, walking is great for your mind and body. That's why people like running. We talked about this yesterday, like a moving meditation. Walking is fantastic. Clear your mind, breathe, allow your brain to take a break from the normal analytical approach. I mean, you can still think, but it'll give you more of a clear mind. But walking is underrated. It's just the fundamental function, I would say. The fundamental function of humans. That's how we get locomotion. That's how we move from one place to the next. So again, drop a question down below. I get no one here has questions today. It's all right. If you don't have questions watching live, that's fine. We'll have a short episode. No worries. But if you have questions, drop in the comments down below with the hashtag #AskPapaSwolio. Jesse, if you like sports, if so, what's your favorite? I don't really care for sports. What's my favorite? Don't really have one. I don't watch sports. Sometimes I like competition. I'll watch a game or I'll watch something that actually means a lot. But regular season games for most sports, like, cool, this game means nothing. It does, but it doesn't. Yeah, I might watch, I don't know. I might watch in passing out of curiosity or stay up culturally. Like I'm aware of the Super Bowl. I didn't watch the Super Bowl. I'm aware of some of the things that happened just because it's like news, but it was, I think, the lowest rated Super Bowl in 10 or 15 years for obvious reasons. All the sports companies are hurting so hard because they went social justice woke shit so bad this past year, and they're not letting people come into the games, and yeah, they're hurting big time. I just think most people are getting inundated with so much information, so many shows, so much data that they just don't care as much about sports anymore, just because it got so political and activism, and it just became such a virtue signaling circle jerk. Not really interested in sports. Ooh, I don't dodgeball in the Ocho. I would. Don't they have professional dodgeball? I do watch some of those highlights on YouTube. If I see a dodgeball thing pop up my suggested, I'll click on it. I'll click on that shit. What's up, David? Is it a myth that your body can only process 30 to 40 grams of protein in an hour? I don't know. Maybe. I don't know what the latest is. I think that was generally a myth. I'm not sure if you can actually quantify how much your body will actually process. I think, wasn't that classically, your body only can do 50 grams of protein at one sitting? I don't see how that's possible, because it depends on the person, depends on what your body's used to metabolizing, depends on your size. If you're a huge, massive person like Thor or like half Thor, you're 6'8" or 6'9", you're 350 or 400 pounds. I'm pretty sure that his body can process more food than a regular sized person. I don't see how there's any truth to that range. I'm sure it depends on your nutrition, genetics, what your body is adapted to, your size, all these different things. I don't see how you can quantify just that one number. Smokey, how would I lean bulk without putting on fat? Keep your carbs low and don't do too much of a surplus and train hard. There's really no magic behind it. It's just a very, very, very slow and arduous process. And it's much easier if you're not super micromanaging, and you'll have more strength and you can build more muscle if you go into more of a surplus in general. But a lean bulk will take you a long time, and with very, 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 very slow, incremental, granular progress. So if you can handle that kind of consistency and that type of slow approach, it's totally fine. I don't prefer dirty bulking anyway. I don't prefer super caloric excess. I think that's sloppy and I think it's very unhealthy. So you don't need that much of a surplus or a deficit to gain or lose weight, but I would just minimize or keep like your don't go nuts on the garbage food. I mean, don't do like no garbage food. Like I wouldn't go nuts on any of that anyway, but processed carbs, vegetable seed oils, keep those out. You know how we always talk about grass-fed beef, pastured eggs, the highest quality foods that you possibly can, whole foods for all your sources, and keep the surplus low, or a small surplus, maybe 250 or 500, and just keep the excess carbohydrates. Play around with your carbohydrates and make sure that you're not overdoing it. Don't forget when you consume a lot of carbohydrates, you're also going to retain a lot of water too. So when you cut carbs, you lose water weight, but also you're gonna. Let's see over here. Matt, Papa Swolio, is it better to work out and do your full sets and reps with breaks in between, or have a circuit that you fully go through? For what? Come on, let's go. Let's get some more detail on these questions. There's no better. There's no better with anything. That's a good lesson. There's no better with anything. It depends on what you're trying to accomplish. What are you trying to do? There's no better. No better. You mean going through vertical or horizontal? It depends on the workout. Depends on your goal. Depends on a lot of things. There is no better with most things. It depends on the context and what you're trying to accomplish. Papa Swolio, what do you think about Tai Chi? Never done it. Don't really have any knowledge about it. I've noticed when I meditate, I like to include mindful movement. Been thinking of exploring it. Cool. Go for it. Let us know how you like it. Manny Monsabai, where do you get your motivation? I don't think about motivation. Oftentimes I don't feel like doing it anyway. It's a habit. Habits. Your body is built on habits. Everything, your body, your results, everything is built on habits. If you have poor habits, you're going to have poor outcomes. If you have good habits, you're going to have better outcomes. So it's not about motivation. It's about, you can say it's discipline. Sure, there are a lot of words that kind of sound the same, but motivation is a fleeting emotion. It's like feeling like it. Hey, I feel like doing it today. Cool. That's convenient. It's not necessary. It's not required to feel like it. You need to create those reasons and that awareness and understanding that you need to do A, B, and C because you want X, Y, and Z. So you do it regardless of how you feel. If you feel like doing it, that's different from being injured or being crippled sore and needing to take a break. That doesn't mean that you just beat yourself up and assault yourself and never recover. It just means when you like, oh, I'm not in the mood for it. That doesn't matter. It doesn't matter if it's convenient. It matters if you need to do it. And if you're disciplined and you execute based on habit rather than feeling, you're going to get more results. Annika, if you need to rest actively, do you try to do it at the same time as your gym workout? What do you mean? At the same time? Like the same time of day or at the same time as your workout? I'm not sure exactly what you mean. You mean just to keep your schedule? That's up to you. That's up to you. Keep your routine, sure. I mean, I don't necessarily train at the same time every day, but if you do it, that could definitely help you stay in the routine. All right, hashtag go to the fucking gym, hashtag GTTFG. We'll give away this card at the end of today's episode. Reminder, we'll take some more questions in a second. Remember, subscribe to the Daily Swole on Apple Podcasts and Spotify, streamed live every day on the Daily Swole channel on YouTube. But reminder that tomorrow will not be, I repeat, tomorrow will not be a live stream for the public. So if you are a Swole Fam member, let me just open this up over here. If you're a Swole Fam member, tomorrow's episode will be for members only inside Swole TV, and inside the private Facebook group, we'll do a double stream. So accountability meeting tomorrow, new releases. Private episode 1746 will be for members only. So if you want to get access to all of those exclusive episodes and so much more, check out swolenormousx.com. It's at the bottom of the screen here, swolenormousx.com for details, and you'll be able to watch live and get access to all the priority access episodes. We do at least one per week, so go and check that out, swolenormousx.com for details. Tomorrow at 12 noon, like we do every single Monday. Got some new releases for you.
60% of the time, it works every time.
That doesn't make sense.
It doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense. And if you have any other follow-ups, you can ask another question. If you need to follow up with a question, if I was like, hey, give me some more context, you could drop that down. SV Zoetic. Interesting. I'm extremely overweight and struggle with most yoga poses, especially the yogi pose. Any pointers to help get into these? Well, if you need, you could do a chair yoga class. I don't have any pointers for like most yoga poses. Depends on, what context you have. You could use blocks. You could use slanted blocks. If you need to put blocks under your heels, you can use pillows, get a bolster. There's a lot of blocks and straps and things that you can do that you can get on Amazon or your local store. I would recommend looking into those other props. Blocks are very good. Using a chair or a table if you need to hold on to something. You could literally sit and do yoga in a chair. So just modify, use pillows, adjust if you need to put something under your butt to sit on, if you need to put something under your thigh. But there are slanted blocks too. So if you're doing like a pigeon pose for something and you need to wedge something under your thigh, it can help you relax into the poses more. So I would look into straps, blocks, the wedges, a bolster, which is like a long, fluffy pillow, which can be great for lying in certain positions or putting your arms on it, softer, and it can be a little bit more dynamic in certain positions. So I would check that out. But I'm glad that you're doing the movement. I'm glad you could do it next to a wall too if you have balance issues too. So anything that you need to help yourself, because sometimes there could be issues if you're very overweight or if you're very tight, you can't reach and grab your leg, so a strap can help. It just brings your leg closer to you. So for example, if you're doing a triangle or some kind of pose where you're touching the ground, you can't reach the ground. Using a block isn't a cheat. It's not regression. It doesn't mean that you suck at yoga. You're just bringing the floor up to you so you can master the pose. Because if your back isn't flat, you're not able to actually open up the spine in the way that the pose is supposed to. So a lot of people don't want to use blocks or don't want to use straps because they're trying to, they want to do advanced. They don't want to seem like a beginner. They don't want to seem for themselves. They don't want to feel like they're not good enough to do yoga without a block. But a block isn't something that means you're a yoga pussy. It just means that maybe your limbs are a different length than some other people, or maybe you're just where you are in your journey. There is no good or bad. You just have to adjust. So you bring the floor up to you. You adjust your body with the props in order to get into the positions more optimally. Patrick, let's see. What are your current fitness goals? To be consistent. Are you trying to maintain your current size and strength, or you want to lean bulk to a certain weight or hit strength PRs? None of those. I really don't have any goals right now for fitness. I don't do goals in most ways. I never really did fitness goals per se. And I've talked about that a lot. I'm not a big fan of goals. I prefer the 7 pillars and the discipline and executing every day. What that turns into is fine. Like seriously, what that looks like over time and what that leads to. Like I've already done bulking. I've done cutting. Right now I'm kind of like in a good spot where I would say by default or just by effect, I'm maintaining. But I still train hard. I still lift heavy. I like doing power. I like doing a lot of kettlebell stuff. I haven't done barbell in about a year, so it's been a nice break, and I'm finding a lot of benefits from doing that, doing more kettlebell and dumbbell and band work. So I'm just going through a different phase with my training, but it's all about being consistent and focusing on nutrition, just scheduling, time management, and just doing it every day. That's really my goal, is just to do the 7 pillars every day. Just narrow focus, man. Narrow focus. I really don't care if I get bigger. I don't care if I get leaner. It's like, I know how to do that. It's just a lot of effort and focus that I'm just not really, I don't know. I don't really have a specific goal. I think a lot of people get trapped in these goals and then it's very unfulfilling at the end. So I think you have to be very careful with how you set goals and what goals they are and why you're setting them. Papa Swole, you mentioned before that Mama Swole could hang with you on leg day. On our first date, yeah. Does she still keep up with you? No, she doesn't. Not right now. She needs to train more. You can tell her I said that. I'll tell her I mentioned that. No, she's good. She's good. But no, she doesn't keep up with me. Come on, you serious? Can you give me a break? Give me a break. Give me a break. She fucking puts up with me. Yeah, puts up with me, yeah, but keeps up with me? No. Sorry, Mama. Step up your game. Let's see. Cream of rice? Ooh. Oh. That wasn't a question. Let's see here. Smokey, have you reviewed Eric the Electric's disgusting world's record unhealthiest ice cream that he consumed? No. Every single video I see, now he's just being a complete troll. I don't know what to do on these YouTube videos because I get fatigued from just going over these fucking videos because these dumbasses don't learn and they just keep on sending the same trash message. And then it will just make my content more repetitive. Like there's just no shortage of these dumb fucks that do these garbage, disgusting videos. I just don't know what to say about these things anymore. It's the same thing I say all the time. So it's kind of like, I'm just going to talk about this fucking moron again. I don't know. I haven't seen it. I've seen some suggested thumbnails. I don't know why YouTube thinks, because I never click on them. I don't know why they try to suggest these things to me. But all I get suggested are these binge eating things and like natty or not videos. Like I give a fuck who's natty or not. Like I give a shit, like an actual fuck. I don't know who wants to watch those videos. I think it's stupid. But no, he had another one that was like the unhealthiest nacho plate. He's a train wreck. His videos are a train wreck. It's crazy. But no, I haven't seen it specifically. Maybe I will. Maybe I'll cover it. It's just like, ugh. How do they get away with that on YouTube? How is that fine? Oh, by the way, guess what? I did I got something funny. I got something funny for you. So, as you all know, if you follow me on TikTok, I get some videos, well, quite frequently it violates community guidelines or whatever because someone gets their feelings hurt. I talk about losing weight is good. I don't know. But I've been having a couple of my videos removed lately for, guess what? You ready? And these are videos I said, go to the fucking gym. They got removed for, you ready for this? You ready for this? Guess what they got removed for? Not harassment, not hate speech, not bullying. They got removed for integrity and authenticity. You ready for this? Yeah. TikTok is removing some of my videos for violating, I guess, integrity and authenticity. I have no idea. I don't know what that means. I mean, I know what it means. I looked at their guidelines. I'm like, how does this violate? I'm not swindling anyone. I'm not misrepresenting myself. I'm telling people to go to the fucking gym. So now I'm getting flagged for not having integrity and not being authentic. Like, I don't think anyone can make more authentic content than I do. Literally just saying, hey, what's up? Stop scrolling, you fuck. Go to the gym. You're not being authentic. That's not integrity. I don't know. But that's the truth. Pretty bad. Pretty bad. Steven, I'm looking to a meal prep company to help keep me on point. This week, I'm trying the Lifetime meal prep. Next week, the trifecta meals. Just wondering if you have heard of any good meal prep companies. No, actually, I don't. I've never done meal prep. I always make my own food. So, oops. It depends on what area you are. I guess you'd need like a national. Oops. Why'd that slide? So no, I don't know any that do national that I would personally use. Yeah, anyone else, you guys can drop that in the comments down below. So no, not aware. I haven't even really looked. I mean, my friend has a meal prep company down in Florida, but that's not a national company. So I don't know where you live. But any of you that do any of you use meal prep or you make your food yourself? How many of you use a meal prep company? You could drop that in the comments. Let's see. Selena, I've heard of Trifecta. I know nothing about the company though, but I've heard that name. I've probably seen an ad or an Instagram or something. Selena, I eat mostly carnivore, but still have a hard time getting enough protein. How? Would a protein shake be a good addition to my diet? I don't see how you would need one. How do you have a tough time getting protein when you're eating mostly carnivore? I don't understand. I don't understand. How much protein are you actually consuming? How many calories are you consuming? Yeah. I mean, would it be? I don't personally consume protein shakes. I guess it could if you. How do you know you're not getting enough protein? Like what? How do you have a hard time getting? Like, do you know how? Is there a number? Why are you trying to hit a certain number? Is there a reason for it? What are you trying to accomplish? Let's see here. Make sure you're using the hashtag so I can see the question, because sometimes, and make sure you use a question mark because I'll probably miss them a lot. Let's see. Papa Swolio, when you have exercise program with a total body 1 and total body 2, for example, should you stick to one for a few weeks or can you alternate them? You can alternate. You can alternate. That's what they're there for. They're there for you being able to customize the programming when you do it on repeat. So you could do the program again and choose different workouts. So as the archive increases and as for certain programs or certain workouts, as we build out those different sections, when you choose the program and do it again, you can choose total body 3 or total body 1 or alternate it. Yeah, you could. You totally could. You totes could. A lot of you are asking about protein powders. Man, I haven't taken a protein powder in years. There's some collagen protein in the cabinets that Mama Swolio got. But I would recommend if you're doing anything, you get grass-fed, whey isolate if you can. It's just there's so many fillers in those protein powders, especially when they try to make it taste like chocolate or they try to add some sucralose and aspartame and stuff in them. I personally don't consume them, so I don't really know actually what the newest companies are out there. I know since I've used protein powders, there's just a ton of new stuff, but a lot of them have just artificial sweeteners and flavorings and are 60 to 70% protein. The rest of it is just filler powder. So, for me in a pinch, like if I can't consume, then I'll fast, then I won't eat and I'll just make up for it, next time I eat. So I'm curious as to what you mean, like in a pinch. I think most people are so obsessed or think that they have to have food in all the time. Like you can go without food, just eat more later when you get to your food. If you're like, oh, I don't have any food for me for the day, you can fast. It's not going to hurt you. It's not bad. It's not an eating disorder. It's just allowing your body to run more efficiently, to, utilize the energy you have on your body. It also depends on what your goal is though. If you're trying to bulk all the time and get in tons and tons of calories, then sure, I get it. It makes sense. Just understand the consequences or the side effects or the pitfalls. Like protein shakes commonly just give diarrhea and digestive issues, and people that have lactose and, artificial sweetener intolerances, and not to mention the purity and the quality of a lot of these supplements aren't regulated well, and you can get heavy metals in them and such. So it depends. I would just definitely do your research on whatever you consume. Go on those third-party websites where they do tests and they test for heavy metals and they test for particulates and impurities and I think like what LabDoor and these different sites that test third-party that will test products and then let you know like, hey, this gets this of a rating or this of a rating. So you might have some more insights as to whether a company that you're not sure of is a good product. You can just check that out. Just some thoughts. But I haven't had protein powders personally. So you all know like the fitness industry and the marketing, and man, when you're out of it for like a year or 2 or 3, and all of a sudden you look back, there's just tons of micro brands now, especially since COVID. Everyone's doing stuff remotely. Everyone's got a clothing line. Everyone's got a product. Everyone's got a fucking supplement. It's all the same powder with different marketing for the most part. Let's see here. Stephanie. Holy post. I'm an office worker and my employer provided us with standing desks. Depending on the shoes I wear, I have the capability to stand all day, but I've been told that standing all day isn't as beneficial as one would think. In fact, it could be harmful if your posture isn't solid. Have you heard of any pros or cons about the ever-evolving office environment in regards to how office workers are using their everyday space for small steps in their physical health? Yeah, it's not good to be in one place, period. That's what you're referring to. And you're right. It's not good to stand in one spot, and it's not good to sit in one spot. You should be standing, sitting, moving, squatting. So moving around, the benefits of a standing desk, depending on if you have like a cushion pad and such, because if you're standing, you might be more likely to move around more. Because you're standing, you're going to walk over here, you're going to grab this. You're more likely to be in motion because you're already standing. But just being in one spot and not moving isn't really good either. The human body is meant to be in motion, so it's good to keep moving. That's why a lot of people do those, or they do treadmills or something under their desk, but not everyone has the ability to do one of those treadmills. But if you're doing a standing desk, just make sure you're walking away from your desk and moving more often. But I have a standing desk too, and I still like to sit when I do the podcast. Like I'll stand and I'll sit, I'll stand, but standing is like, it's not good to just be in one spot all the time either. Let's see. What's up, Matt? Another question. Let's see. I don't want to sound kind of lame, but any words of advice with feeling extremely self-conscious going to the gym when intimidated by people who look like demigods? That's a good question. A lot of people feel that way, especially if you're trying to lose weight. People that that's why Planet Fitness got popular, because it's a safe zone. No one's going to lift over 50 pounds. There's no free weights here, right? There's no barbell, just a Smith press. Anyway, it's common. It's normal to be self-conscious with anything, especially now with social media, when every time you go online, you look up fitness stuff, you think that everyone looks ripped. And if you go to a gym and you see, just think, where are muscular people going to be? They're going to be at a gym. This is just, right? This is just statistics. It just makes sense. Where are you going to find healthy people? At a gym, generally. They're going to be lifting. So the chance of you going to the gym and seeing people that are in great shape and thinking, man, they're in better shape than me, that's a high probability. If you go to the local supermarket, you're not going to be self-conscious because you're not going to have a lot of people in there that are in great shape. If you go to a local bar, chances are you're not going to see healthy people. So if you go to a gym, yeah, you're going where people that are going to look good go, in that sense. You're going to go where people have muscle. You're going to go where people have abs. That's where they're going because that's where they're getting them, right? So words of advice, yeah, just block out the noise. I mean, wear a hat, pull the hat down, put your headphones on, go into your own zone, whatever you have to do to get focused. No one's worried about you. Everyone's worried about themselves. So just like you're looking at everyone else, it's hard to conceptualize this sometimes because you're only in your own head, but everyone else is worried about themselves. Trust me, those guys that are muscular, they're looking at themselves in the mirror. They're checking their own form. They're not looking at someone skinnier thinking, yeah, that guy sucks. I'm so much better. No, if anything, they're looking at someone else that has the bicep vein that they want or calves that they aspire to have, and they're self-conscious. Everyone's got their own things. So, everyone's thinking about everyone else. Everyone's thinking about everyone else. Just worry about yourself. I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if that really helps you, but it's normal. It's normal. But if you just got to go into your own zone. I would listen to some good music that you like, put a hat on and just go in and do your fucking work. You also don't have to go in wearing a stringer tank. You can go and just wear a t-shirt or a sweatshirt or something if you're concerned about your body, and just whatever it takes for you to get in there and put in that work. But yeah, no one really, it's just everyone that goes online. Again, if you go online, you go on your Instagram, you type in #fitness, what are you going to see? What are you going to see? You can see fat people. You might see someone, hey, transformation photo, if Instagram allows it. But what you're really going to see are people that are the people that have 300,000 followers or 1 million followers that worked out and they're on anabolic steroids and they look fucking veiny and shredded and ripped and you're like, oh my God, how am I ever going to look like that person? And I've talked about this a lot, but it's really important. Let's say you're scrolling on Instagram for an hour. How many profiles could you go through? Let's say you go through 1,000. That's a lot of fucking profiles. You go through 1,000 people. Oh my God, look at all these people. Everyone on Instagram, everyone is so much healthier than me. Everyone is so much more muscular. Everyone looks so much better than me. Everyone looks so much better than me. It's really only 1,000 people out of 7.5 billion. I mean, what's the percentage on that? Divide that out. 1,000 divided by 7.5 billion. That's 0.0000 whatever percent of the entire population of the world. You're just seeing a concentrated amount of those people because that's like the peak of whatever you type in that hashtag. You're not going to see a profile. You're not going to get suggested a post from someone that has 5 followers. Okay, you're going to see someone that has 1 million, and they probably have 1 million because they're a fitness model, and that's their life, and that's their livelihood. That's all they do, because if they look good, they will sell t-shirts, they'll sell meal plans, they'll sell online training, they'll sell their shit if they look good. If they don't look good, they're not going to get jack shit. So, where was I going with that? So anyway, you're just seeing a concentrated amount on a limited real estate. That little screen. It's amazing what this fucking phone does. It's amazing how poisonous the phone is. It's one little screen. It's like 5 inches by 2.5, 3 inches. And it can just fuck your mind up. It can fuck your mind up. Imagine if you just turn that screen away, you don't look at it, you don't even know it exists. Who cares? Who cares what people are doing online? But it's so common. It's so common to get so distracted and so overwhelmed with what you see online, but it's not reality. Because so many people are going to say that everyone's in such better shape than me. Everyone's in such great shape. I disagree. You go outside. Look, I live in Florida. It's fucking hot and sunny outside. I go outside. I see people that are unhealthy all the time. People are outside walking and shit, but if people have guts, they don't look healthy, they have guts, or they have like pale skin, or they're like poor posture. Most people are not in good health. Remember the stats, 75%? 75%, that's no joke. That's 3/4 of people that are overweight or obese, not to mention just people that aren't healthy that are skinny. Kristen, anyone else working out while listening to this? Fuck yeah. Who's pumping while listening to Papa Swolio? Also, can someone explain the Matt Damon thing to me?
Matt Damon.
Matt Damon. You ever see Team America World Police? It's from that movie. It's one of the soundboards we use to make fun of people. Let's see here. MN. Question. Anyone have any luck with any gluten-free protein bars? I need one in a pinch because of work. No hate, no shade, no pink lemonade, please. By luck, I mean taste and quality. If you're looking for taste and quality in a gluten-free protein bar, that's an oxymoron right there. You ain't gonna get quality, that's for damn sure. I'm not sure why. What's with this pinch stuff? Why are you all in a pinch? Like you need food in a pinch. You just can't go without eating for a couple hours? What's wrong with a little bit of fasting? What's wrong with like waiting? Oh, it's 12 o'clock. I don't have food and I need a bar. Just don't eat till later. I think most people, how many of you have issues with, I think most people that are doing more fasting consistently or eat 1 meal or 2 meals a day, when you have enough fat in your diet, if you're not getting enough quality fats in your diet, you're going to have a lot more of these hunger pangs. You're going to have a lot more of these issues with hunger, and you're going to feel like you need to eat all the time, especially if you're riding a carbohydrate roller coaster. Just curious. I'm kind of teasing, but man, a gluten-free protein bar sounds. They have actual grass-fed beef bars. They have bars that are actually compressed food. They're actually food, right? There's some companies that make grass-fed beef protein bars and things like that. But anytime you're compressing something into like a piece of poop, like a shit stick, and it has to be good on a shelf for months, it's like, what else are they putting in there to keep it fresh, quote, fresh or edible? Let's see, Victoria D's nuts. My husband is a truck driver. We have lost a combined 26 pounds on the elimination diet. Good for you. Good for you.
Wow.
What exercise would you recommend for him for being in a truck? Limited space and too cold to be outside? Well, okay. How can he do anything? Like, he can't go outside. So what can you do in a truck? Like, is there any space to stand up? I've never been in one of those trucks with like the beds and the roof. Like, I don't know if there's any place to stand. Bands, yoga. I mean, if you're not able to go outside, you need to, like, can you stand up? Chair yoga. Hey, you need a chair. You got a seat, right? But you want to be moving. If you're a truck driver, you need to be activating. He needs to be doing glute activation, getting resistance bands like the lateral tube walking for his hips, doing a lot of glute work, a lot of stretching for the hip flexors and his spine. Yoga, I mean, if you have any kind of space, yoga, whatever type of yoga you could possibly do. It's really hard to explain like corrective exercises here, but if it's too cold to be outside, I don't know how much space you have in a truck, because resistance bands are great because you can attach them to a truck. You can attach them to any kind of pole, wrap them around things. You can do a lot of stuff, but if you can't go outside, I'm not sure what the inside space is like. Irish Ode, how to fix my thyroid without meds. I can't speak on how to fix your thyroid gland. I would look into the elimination diet. I would look into inflammatory foods and foods that can be causing you issues and stress. I would look into all the 7 pillars. Are you getting enough sleep? Are you getting quality sleep? Are you getting enough vitamins and minerals? Are you getting in, have you ever tried organ meats? Have you ever tried doing a carnivore diet? Have you ever tried doing an elimination diet? Have you ever tried just focusing on all whole foods? What are you eating now? What's your exercise habit like? Some more context, you could drop that in the comments. Let's see here. Oh, scrolling. See if we got any more live questions. Anything else? We'll just wrap it up a little bit. I'm a little bit high up on those questions here. Let me scroll. I didn't realize how high up I was in the questions. Scrolling. Okay, you're talking about a question about being in a pinch, busy at a high level and high activity job and can't always wash hands. I'm still curious as to, yeah, you all can drop that stuff down, but man, I just don't have anything to recommend when it's like artificial, like protein bars and, right, like any vegan cookies, gross. That just sounds so disgusting. I just can't with good conscience be like, yeah, it's a good idea. Have a vegan cookie. It just sounds disgusting. I just don't see how that's going to be something that's going to give you any nutrient value. A lot of what these protein bars do, a lot of what they do is just take up mechanical space and physical space in your stomach. So you have something in there, and you feel like you ate something, but just because you filled up your stomach with something doesn't mean you're actually getting nutritious value that you can fucking use. So it depends. Like, I really feel like when people do more of a higher fat diet, get rid of all the processed carbohydrates and don't, depend on carbs for all their food, you're fine with not eating for a few or several hours. Doing 1 or 2 meals a day, intermittent fasting is totally fine. People ask me about intermittent fasting all the fucking time, and it's totally fine to not eat all the time. You're getting in all your nutrients, so you're not going to have to worry. It's very liberating for your brain and for your body to not have to stress about getting food all the time. You can focus on other things. Just a thought. Just some thoughts. There you go. Use a thermos and take some bone broth with you. That's cool. That's a good idea. It's real food. I'm just saying, think about your nutrition differently. I remember I used to get like hunger, like, oh my God, I'm so hungry. It depends. If you're bulking, you have to get in enough calories throughout your day, but most people aren't trying to bulk. Most people are trying to eat healthier. And when you're getting in more nutrition and more nutrient dense food, you're less likely to have those cravings, and you can go longer. You can go longer without food. Nothing wrong with it. It sounds so arbitrary, like stop eating so much, just don't eat for a few hours. But we're so dependent on having food all the time. That's not what our bodies are designed for. We don't have to have food all the time. We can go periods without eating. We don't have to have 3 meals a day. We need sufficient vitamins and minerals and calories, but we don't need to be eating all day long to achieve that. It's not something that we've done throughout our entire history. Most people, only in recent, decades and centuries have we grown significantly in height just because of the nutrients. Humans never really had sufficient food on a population level basis. Now we just have so much excess. People are getting plenty of food, but obviously, people are taller, but they're also wider than ever. Let's see, Selena, about my question earlier on how I could use a protein shake. I had my stomach stapled many years ago. I eat once a day, sometimes twice. The most I'm able to eat in a sitting is about 12 to 14 ounces, and I'm stuffed. I see what you're saying. Well, I would check with your doctor. But I mean, if you don't have the actual physical space, then maybe something like that could be beneficial. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I didn't know you had limited. What was it? Limited space. Limited space. Scrolling. I'm really way behind on these questions. Scrolling down to the bottom. How would I make bone broth? You put in a couple pounds of bones. You let it simmer for 48, 72 hours, depending. Yep. Grass-fed beef bones, water, tablespoon or 2. There's a recipe in the archive, in the kitchen in Swole X. Tablespoon or 2 of apple cider vinegar, and then just simmer for a couple days. I go between 48 and 72 hours, depending. I adjust maybe like the temperature and the heat. Let's see. James, when I move away from diet, I start craving all kinds of shit. When I'm eating clean and on point, I don't have cravings or waking up in the middle of the night craving food. Yeah, I agree. I think that's also, and it's not that I don't understand having cravings. It's not that, I don't understand what a craving is. Just don't eat. Oh, it makes sense. I'm saying that from someone who, I eat very consistently. It's just, You don't have to. When you're eating nutrient dense foods, it's hard to be hungry when you're getting in what your body needs. A lot of times you'll feel hungry because you're tired, because you're dehydrated, or because you're not getting in sufficient nutrients when you are eating. Like if you're eating, I don't know, vegan cookies, you're not getting in the nutrition that you need. You're getting in some filler stuff and some carbohydrates that's going to give you, take you through that carb insulin roller coaster. You're going to be hungry in another 30 minutes and still without the nutrients that you need. Let's see. Randy, my doctor wants me to up my calories to 2,400 a day. I'm currently sitting at under 2. I'm underweight and emaciated. He fears my lack of calories is impacting my heart rate. My question is, does lack of calories cause a slow heart rate? Mine is currently, I guess it could. Why not? If you're not getting in enough, it could be also because your body will release hormones. When you don't have enough calories in, your body will release glycogen, glucose. Your body will, if you're not getting enough vitamins and minerals, that can also negatively affect your organ hormone function. If you're underweight and emaciated, then fine. Like, listen to your doctor. Does lack of calories cause a slow heart rate? If he fears that, then there's probably a reason. Maybe. If you're underweight and emaciated, then just eat more. Then eat more. Like, yeah, a lot of things like malnutrition can cause a whole slew of issues. Because don't forget, it's not just your calories. There's nutrition in calories. That's why it's a huge detriment to only look at calories in, calories out, because it's not just the calories, it's the empty calories. It's the nutrient density of those foods. So nutrient density of those foods is so important. And if you're getting in not enough calories and your nutrient density isn't that great for what you're actually consuming, then you're really doubly impacting your consumption. Papa Swolio, wouldn't it be different for workers on the extreme activity level? I get 10,000 steps before lunch. Is that extreme activity? I don't think that classifies as extreme activity. But I feel like I need to eat when lunch comes around. You're also used to it. Maybe I don't. Hopefully the meal prep will level up my nutrition. Again, there are different things that your body has adapted to. One, your body will actually let you know if you're eating properly and you're not. When you're eating properly, your body will let you know when you're actually hungry. A lot of times that could be thirst. So you want to make sure you're sleeping well and getting enough water. But also if you're used to eating lunch at a certain time every day, you're going to feel hungry at that time every day because your body gets used to consuming, hey, it's this time. You start associating 12 o'clock or a bell or a horn or a break at work with consuming. These are habits too. So it's not necessarily true. As long as you're getting in sufficient calories overall to help balance out your expenditure, you're fine, and your nutrients and all those different things. It's just very hard to quantify these things because you don't always know what the levels are of your vitamins and minerals in your blood all the time unless you're getting regular blood work, and most people don't. So it's also a habit of when you're eating. I've said this before. When I was bulking and I was trying to eat every 2 hours, I was eating literally on the timer every 2 hours, and there was no possible way that I was fucking hungry. There's no possible way because I just ate 2 hours ago, literally like an hour and 50 minutes before I was eating. And all of a sudden I would feel like a hunger pain because, hey, my body knew that every 2 hours we're eating food. So it was just a habit type response too. But there's a lot of habits there as well. So it doesn't mean that you're not hungry. And it also doesn't mean that you can, of course you can. Can you eat? Can you feel hungry? Sure. But there could be other factors there too. And when you say, wouldn't it be different for what? So I'm not even sure what we're really talking about here. You can't just send a blanket thing like, well, if you take 10,000 steps, should I eat? Irrelevant. Like what are the other things that are going on in your schedule? And that's not just one day. Your body doesn't just do things from one day to the next. Like one day, 24 hours isn't how your body, it's not an etch-a-sketch. Your body just resets. Okay, well, this day is over. So now we're going to move on to the next one. It's rolling. It's always digesting over multiple days. And, it's a rolling caloric consumption. So humans, we just break it down into days because we need help conceptualizing these things. Like 7 days in a week is very arbitrary. The sun goes up, sun goes down, cool. Like if you eat at 6 o'clock at night, that food's still in your system the next day. It's not like it's only happening and then midnight hits or like a gremlin, everything just kind of resets. And so it depends on all the other context for what you're doing. You're doing 10,000 steps. Are you exercising? Are you lifting too? How much else are you eating? You're hungry in the middle of the day. Are you eating enough at night? So yeah, you might have to eat, because if you're eating later in the day and you're not getting enough calories in, then sure, that's why you're going to feel hungry, for example, or thirsty or whatever it is. So there's a lot of other things there too. Yeah. Yeah. There's a lot of other things there too. So whenever you're looking at nutrition, you're looking at needs. So if you're a very high level athlete and you're lifting a lot of weight, super heavy all the time, just doing carnivore or doing a keto diet might not be ideal. I didn't like doing keto when I was lifting. I tried doing complete keto. I didn't really like it too much. I need some carbohydrates. So I eat fruit, sometimes some sweet potatoes, some white rice, but I don't do a ton. I shouldn't say I don't do a ton, but I keep it more fat and protein, but I do have carbohydrates. So I'm not doing carnivore, animal-based diet, sure, but I'm not doing, most of my calories come from that. But I do consume fruit. I do consume some of those other foods like I mentioned, but it depends on what your goal is, what your activity level is, what type of activity you're doing, what energy your body is going to need. And then are you overdoing it, underdoing it? What other habits do you have? There's a lot of things that can cross over that can give you cravings at certain times of the day. It could just be habit, or it could be need, or it could be thirst. It could just be these other signals. Your body's just trying to maintain. Your body's just trying to get through to the next day and survive to see the next day and to reproduce, right? So the hierarchy of needs, a lot of times what we think we need, we don't need. It's just a signal, and how we interpret it is the real shit of it. Good questions, fam. Good questions. Good stuff. So remember, when it comes to like a protein powder or a shake or a vegan cookie or eating during the day, there's something wrong with any of that. And there could be. So the reason why I answer the questions the way that I do is because you're not going to hear this in many other places. Everyone just wants to say, oh, eat this, add this up, subtract this from this. It's that simple. Well, maybe in some surface level computations it can be. But if you're looking at the actual context of the individual, that's why individual questions and specific questions are the best. Whether or not I can answer them, it has to be in the context of you as an individual and you and your life, with your activity, with your habits, because you're the one that has to be consistent with them. Just don't trick yourself into thinking that you're eating something healthy when it's really just a block of, a block of sand, and it feels like you're full because you swallowed something. So if you're doing supplements or powders or bars and things like that. So, I used to eat those things too, and just there's no benefit to them. And I know this because I don't eat them now, and I feel great. And I'm just trying to give some perspective. And a lot of these things compound over time. When you're not consuming these supplements, or you're not consuming these powders or pills or protein bars, or you find these little patterns and these habits and these little associations with things maybe you thought you needed in the past, but was really part of like a sugar addiction, or was part of that carbohydrate, blood sugar drop. And then you're kind of on that crash cycle. Maybe it was drinking too much coffee. Maybe it was not getting enough sleep. Maybe it was not hydrating enough. There could be different things why you have cravings at certain times of the day. But if you're utilizing a lot of energy, guess what? You have to replenish it. So if you're doing 10,000 steps, you're walking a lot, you're super active during the day. So maybe you don't eat all day and you eat at night. Can you replenish all the calories that you need for the whole day? Maybe you're not eating enough at night, which would mean that, okay, you either need to eat twice a day, or you need to up your consumption in the evening. That way you can have enough calories for what you're expending. Steve, you don't need to eat every 2 hours to put on muscle. No, you don't. It depends on what you're consuming, your total caloric intake. Yeah, you don't have to. But if you're trying to eat 3,000 or 4,000 calories, that's hard to do in 2 meals. It's a lot easier to do that over the course of 5 meals, for example. So it depends. JM Zig, you keep mentioning thirst. Realistically, how much water should someone? You can start with half your body weight in water, in ounces. That's a good place to, a good general launching point. So if you're 200 pounds, 100 ounces of water plus that or more, It depends on your energy expenditure, your climate. If you sweat a lot and you're living in a warmer climate like I am in Florida, need more water. Annika, can you get fatigue due to a sustained period of pain? Sure, why not? That sounds awful. You're in pain for a long time. Can you get fatigue? It sounds fatiguing just reading your question, so I don't see why not. You mean just physiological fatigue? You're exhausted? Sure. Your body's under stress all the time. Absolutely. Yeah, your stress is just through the roof. Let's see here. About to crush a 1.2 pound steak. Oh, there you go. There you go. What's your take on nitric oxide pills and boosters? What, like citrulline malate or something in pre-workout? I think something like that is generally harmless, but I don't know. You're just talking about a general category. A lot of those things are psychological. I mean, if you're going to do supplements, if you're going to do like some kind of pre-workout, I recommend making your own or just taking something that's completely raw. That way you're not getting all the garbage fillers and the miscellaneous products that are put in your pre-workout that are not tested, that are just, who knows what the fuck this does. You can make it yourself. You can get unflavored raw ones. They taste like shit because they're just literally like extracts. But do that plus some coffee, black coffee or something like that, then you're eliminating a lot of the questionable ingredients in there. Is a TDEE calculator a good tool to use when first starting out? Depends on what your goal is. I guess it could be. Total daily energy expenditure. Yeah, I might ballpark it for you, give you a general idea. You still have to test it and see if you're gaining or losing. It's not 100%. Those things are never 100% accurate. But if you want a general idea, literally, a lot of people are asking about gaining or losing or this and that. If you don't know, I get this question so many times. So let me just tell you straight up. If you ask that question and you don't know exactly how much you're eating, you're not consistent all the time, you're not really micromanaging, you're fucking analytical, then you don't know what to change. You don't know, hey, should I be eating more? Well, how much are you eating now? Well, I'm eating anywhere between 2,000 and 2,500. No, that's too vague. So you don't know what to change unless you know what you're doing. So if you really want to get granular like that, it depends. That's not the kind of life I want to live. I don't want to be measuring and weighing every last thing. But if you want to do that, that's fine. And you have to know what you're doing in order to know how to change it. So if that's something that lines up with your goals, like, hey, I want to gain weight, that's the most important thing I want, then yeah, you need to know if you're consuming enough food. Because if you're not and you just want to gain weight, you're not going to magically do it just because you're thinking, gain weight. If you're not getting enough energy, you're not going to do it. So you need to make sure that you are consuming. And if you're consistently consuming, let's say 2,500 calories, you're not gaining enough, then guess what? You eat more. You up it to 2,750. And then you do that for a week or two. And then you gauge and you're like, hey, I'm gaining a little bit. Understand that when you do gain, your body is going to hit that maintenance level again. So then eventually you have to go to 3,000 calories. I'm just talking about if you're bulking or something like that. So the more consistent you can be, the more regimented and consistent you can be, then you can actually gauge your progress, whether or not you're actually seeing it go in the right direction. Most people just want an answer, but you're going to have to test this over the course of a couple of weeks and then adjust as needed. And that doesn't sound exciting. People just want, do this. You have to put in the work. You have to get obsessed with it and really dig into it and be analytical and be consistent as fuck. Oh, Bethany, that's great. Stuck in the airport and flying till midnight due to flight cancellations. Did a yoga flow here at the gate. Look at you. Very nice. Very nice. Very nice. Good for you. Yeah, that's a good way to do it. That's another way to do it. A weekly average of calories. That's another thing that your body will do great with consistency. So if you're doing something consistently every day, it's easier for your body to adapt to that. But that's what I was talking about, how your calories roll over. It's not like your 24-hour thing cycle hits and then the next day your body resets like an Etch-a-Sketch, just erase and start from scratch. Your body, you actually have to, it's a rolling calorie count. How many calories are you consuming over the course of days and weeks or days? So like 3, 4, 5 days. So your weekly caloric intake, I mean, let's say you're fasting on a Wednesday, does that mean that you don't have any energy? No, you ate the day before, you're eating the day after. So what's the total calories you're consuming over the course of the week? And then you can kind of gauge like what your week to week looks like as well. Yeah, good questions. Good questions. And hey, there isn't always a specific answer for all of these. And a lot of these answers are my opinion. Whether or not you want to have a protein bar, that's up to you. I'm not going to be shopping for you. I'm not going to be eating them. So if you ask me a question about a protein bar, for example, and I don't like protein bars, I'm not a fan and I don't eat them, I'm going to say I don't eat them. So that is what it is. So, I mean, that's what I'm doing now. I don't consume protein bars now. And a lot of these things that protein bars or powders and things, I've done that in the past. I did that for a long time and I haven't for a while. And I feel great and I look the same, if not better. So it just gives me some context like, oh, maybe that wasn't that necessary. Maybe I was wasting my money. Maybe I was spending money on things that weren't actually benefiting me as much as I thought they were. So it just put things into perspective for me because I'm eating food and I'm eating what we always talk about. You know, I'm eating the way that I feel is working best for me, getting in a lot of protein and fat. I'm not doing the supplementation, minimizing other things and just seeing how I react to it. Doesn't mean I'll never have a protein powder again, but I haven't needed one for a long time. And it's definitely raised a lot of concerns about how much people suck that shit down. I mean, it's obvious. There's no secret. You start sucking down tons of protein shakes, you shit your brains out for a reason. Most people have digestive issues when it comes down to sucking down whey protein like that. But anyway, that's right. Calories don't exist on the weekends. That's right. Apparently calories don't exist on the weekends for some, and then they wonder why they aren't losing.
Matt Damon.
Case in point. All right. So let's give away this Swole card. Excellent. Thank you so much for joining for today's Ask Papa Swolio Live. Remember that tomorrow is our accountability meeting. So you could join us. Swole fam will be live inside Swole TV in the private Facebook group tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time. 12 noon Eastern time tomorrow, February the 15th. So we will not be live for the public. We'll be live for members only. Do not miss out on that. Got great Swole fan posts, new releases. Check us out, swolenormousx.com. Don't miss out on that opportunity. Oh, very nice, Eric. My organ supplements are arriving this week. Very nice. Very nice. Good for you. Delicious. Delicious and nutritious. All right, let's give away today's Swole card. Go to the fucking gym. Krista, I mean, if you don't win today, like, I can't land on you, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, you just picked her," because she's complaining all the time. Scrolling. I'm scrolling up. 0 on that one. One more time with the music. Going all the way up. Hey, Papa. Hey, Lexi. How we doing? These names are epic. I just saw a name here. Hootie McBoob. Scrolling. Justin Guido, congratulations, bro. Congratulations. On the way back down. So, Krista, sorry. Give it to me. Congratulations, Justin. Congratulations. I'm sorry. Krista, you didn't win. I'm sorry. Maybe next time. I'm sorry. Stop whining. I know. I feel bad. Now Krista's going to be like, I didn't win. I just can't. If you complain enough, I just can't. I can't. Everyone thinks it's rigged already. It ain't rigged. I promise you that. But Krista, it was close. Maybe next time. Anyway, congratulations, Justin. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com, swolecard1745, and your mailing address in the bio of the email. Like I mentioned, the next batch of cards will be going out in the next week or so. But Krista, we love you. No, it's definitely not rigged. Just there's a lot of hashtags there. A lot of hashtags. It's surprising. Honestly, it's surprising when I go through and I scroll. It's surprising how many times I scroll and stop that I don't land on a hashtag. Because when we're live, I see all the hashtags popping up. I'm like, how do I not land on one immediately? So, a little interesting. Anyway, love your sick fucking gains. Love it. It's not rigged or I'd win every day. Preach. All right, so Justin, congratulations. Let's nut this beesh. Very exciting times. All right, Tessie. All right. Yes. No, you are not welcome here. You are not welcome in these parts. You are not welcome, Falcon. You can just go F yourself. Oh, sexy Tessie. Oh, you sexy beesh. You sexy beesh. Oh, Tessie, you're so sexy. Oh, it's a good beesh. Thank you so much, fam, for joining me for episode 1745 of the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gangcast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleazecast, and Slaycast in the realm because not flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. Good questions, good around the horn. Like the questions. I like where your head's at. I like I'm picking up what you're putting down. I think you're doing well, fam. You're doing well. You're doing well. You're doing great. We'll see you tomorrow for 1746. We'll see you mañana. Keep crushing it, fam. We got this. We got this together. Oh, nailed it. Oh, nailed it. Right, Falcon? Am I right? Yeah.
I don't know how to put this.
Oh, nailed it.
Kind of a big deal.
All right, fam. We'll see you tomorrow for 1746. Remember, accountability meeting, members only. Learn more. You can join right now. You'll be there in time, streaming live inside Swole TV and the private Facebook group for the Swole fam only. We'll see you tomorrow, 12 noon Eastern time, 1746. And we'll be back here, of course, on Tuesday for the public cast. But, fam, I'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGeese. Deuce, Magoose. Yeah, boy. Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket.
Oh, we did it, fam. We did it. We did, Falcon. No thanks to you. You're always a selfish beast. You're always a selfish beast, just screaming, caw, 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 feed me, feed me, feed me. Enough. Enough.
Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they king left and they so mad, it's like
yeah, I found that young king with my crown at. Hand rags in the fanny pack, couple hundred in the Louis bag.
that's a bed that you made. That's a bed that you made. That's the bed that you laid. What kind of game is you playing? We go hard in the paint, yeah. What the fuck is you saying? I only go where they pay. What kind of game is you playing? Yeah, whoa, my shit is relevant. On topic, my melanin is popping. I'm taking skeletons on closets and making new deposits.